I want to talk to men over 40 about something that no one is saying out loud. And it's this: the way you've been taught to think about motivation is actually making you weaker. And I know that sounds backward. You've been told your whole life, get motivated, watch the highlight reel, listen to the pump up speech, find your why, then go. But there's a problem. If you're a man over 40 and you've been relying on motivation to drive your fitness, your health, your discipline, you've been building on sand. And every time the motivation goes away, which it always does, you're starting over again and again. This video is about why that is, and more importantly, what men who never quit are actually running on instead. After 40, testosterone levels in men decline on average about 1 to 3% annually. It can be much higher with a sedentary lifestyle. Testosterone isn't just about muscle. It's directly connected to drive, ambition, and the neurological feeling of being fired up. That feeling you used to get automatically, the one that made you want to get after it, that takes more to produce now. It costs more and it fades faster. So when you're relying on motivation as your fuel source, you're relying on something that is biologically harder to generate and harder to sustain than it was 15 years ago. You're not weak, you're not lazy. You're running on an outdated operating system on a body that has changed. Men who stay in incredible shape at 45, 50, 55, they're not more motivated than you. They've figured out earlier that motivation was the wrong fuel, and they switched. A motivation-dependent man wakes up and asks himself, do I feel like working out today? And some days the answer is yes, and some days the answer is no. And over time, the no days start winning because life is stressful, because testosterone is lower, because the couch is right there. Every time a no day wins, it makes the next no day easier to justify. A system-built man doesn't ask that question. The question was already answered permanently when he built the system. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m. That's what happens. Not because he feels like it, because that's who he is. That's what he does. The decision was made once, not every morning. That gap between men who decide daily and men who decide once is where consistency is won or lost. And over 40, when decision fatigue is real and life demands are high, the man who decided once has an enormous structural advantage. Most men think the eye of the tiger is a feeling. It's a surge of intensity that's locked in, fired up, nothing can stop me energy. And they spend their lives chasing that feeling, waiting for it to show up, watching videos, trying to manufacture it. And when it doesn't, they don't train. But that's not what the eye of the tiger is. A tiger doesn't feel motivated to hunt. A tiger doesn't wake up and think, I don't really feel like it today. A tiger hunts because that's what a tiger does. It is identity. It is nature. It is non-negotiable. The eye of the tiger is not a feeling. It is the decision about who you are. It is the moment you stop waiting to feel ready and start acting from a standard that doesn't require feelings to execute. Here's the thing about men over 40 specifically. You have something that makes this shift easier than for a 25-year-old. You have evidence, a track record. You already have survived hard things. You already know how to do things without motivation. You've been doing it for years in other areas of your life. The gym is just a place where you haven't applied the same standard yet. Every time you showed up for work on a day you didn't feel like it, that was the eye of the tiger. Every time you pushed through a hard season for your family, that was the eye of the tiger. Every time you took a difficult phone call, made a hard decision, kept going when it would have been easier to stop, that was the eye of the tiger. You are not a man who lacks discipline. You are a man who has applied his discipline everywhere except for his own health. And that changes today. There are 3 commitments you should make. Number 1, a standard, not a goal. Goals are destinations. Standards are how you operate. A goal says, I want to lose 20 pounds. A standard says, I train 4 days a week, period. Goals can be missed. Standards are just who you are. The most consistent men over 40 have stopped setting fitness goals and started setting fitness standards. The results follow the standard automatically. Number 2, a non-negotiable window. Pick your training window and make it non-negotiable. Not, I'll work out when I have some time. Time is never given. It must be claimed. Your training window is protected. It doesn't move for low priority things. It's on the calendar, like a meeting you cannot miss, because you cannot miss it. You are the meeting. Number 3, a minimum you will never fall below. Even on the worst days, travel, sickness, insane work week, there is a floor. 15 minutes, a walk, something. The floor is what separates the men who stay in shape for decades from the men who are always restarting. Never fully stopping is the entire game. The floor is what keeps you in it. Weak men, and I mean that in a fixable sense, wait to be ready. They wait to be motivated to show up. They tell themselves, I'll get serious when things calm down. When the kids are older, when work gets easier, when I feel better, when I have more time. Strong men build a system that doesn't need ready. They train when things are hard. They train when they're tired. They train when life is complicated, not because they're superhuman, but because the decision was already made and the system handles the rest. The men around you are making this choice right now. Some of them are going to be in the best shape of their lives at 50. Some of them are going to be starting over again at 50. The difference is not talent, it's not time, it's not genetics. It's whether they built a system or they kept waiting to be motivated. You already know which one you want to be. The question is, what do you do next? One of the things that could help you is the consistency scorecard, and you can download that for free in the link in the description. Don't wait until you're motivated to get it. That's literally the point of this video. Motivation is not your friend, not at 40, not with everything going on, not with a biology that makes it harder to generate and harder to sustain than it used to be. Your secret strength is the thing you've already been doing for decades in other areas of your life. Showing up without needing to feel like it. You already have the eye of the tiger. You've been pointing it in the wrong direction. Build a standard. Protect the window. Hold the floor. And stop waiting for a feeling that was never going to be reliable enough to build a life on. Men who are thriving at 50, 60, and beyond, they made this decision. Not because they had more motivation, because they decided differently. Now it's your turn.